is the bell. And the stock you need to look out for is Trent. It's down 8% straight away. The market's up. Market's actually opened higher. It's opened better than what the implied open was indicating. Nifty is about 10-11 points up. But the mid-cap index is already flashing red. So it is slightly volatile. Like I said, let's straight away flash Trent. And Mangalam highlighted this earlier as well. What the issues here are. The company has spoken about 20% growth in Q1. Their own, steady state guidance is 25% on an ongoing basis, but they've grown 20%. And that disappointment is written all over the stock. We'll go back to this in just a second. But that's your big headline. But otherwise, the market's managing about a 25-point gain. So let's see what's pulling it up. Bajaj Finance, like Gaurav told us, numbers are looking good, about 25% growth. Market likes that. Stock's about 2.5% on the higher side. We're seeing some move on a BEL. Need to watch out for some of these defense stocks as well. Like I said, over 1 lakh crores of proposals approved by the Defense Acquisition Council. BEL is already up and about. Wipro, Bharti Airtel, Bajaj Finserv. These are some of the other early winners. HDFC Bank is managing a 0.5% gain. But then it's getting really quiet. Reliance, for what it's worth, is adding 3 rupees. Some total of 3 rupees. So it's not too much of a contributor. Markets holding on to the green just by the, hanging by a thread, so to speak. On the flip side, you've got a M&M, Tata Steel, Tech Mahindra. These are some of the names on the downside, only 7 points higher. It is volatile. It's not a clean sweep. So the optimism on Wall Street hasn't quite translated to the Lal Street just yet.
Well, on the way down, by the way, it's the capital marketplace. So clearly this Jane Street's, the interim order on Jane Street impounding gains to the tune of 5,000 crore is hitting some of the capital marketplace. So pull up in Angel One, straight away 5.5% lower on that. BSE is open with a cut of about 4.5%. A Motilal Oswal, CDSL. So the entire capital market complex today is under pressure. The street fears that liquidity will get impacted, market making will get impacted, and that is hurting sentiment there. Trent, of course, is the big loser. Outside of that, on the way down, you also have cuts coming through on Bank of Baroda, where the street is a bit disappointed with the provisional updates. That stock is open with a cut of about 0.5%. On the way up, as a sector, it's the defense names. So Paras Defense, Bharat Dynamics, BEL, that's the complex which is higher today on the back of the Defense Acquisition Council clearing orders to the tune of 1 lakh crore rupees. Marico has started with strength after the volumes hit a multi-quarter high, 3.5% up on that. IEX has a bit of a gain going for itself. And some of the other big movers include a Sapphire, that's up nearly 4.5%. A few other NBFCs, Suryoday Small Finance Bank, Credit Access Grameen, also up and about. But on the whole, very, very flat on the benchmark indices. Nifty Sensex holding up with a mild positive buys, mid-caps unchanged.
Flat on the benchmark indices. We do have, the advanced decline pretty much at an even keel early in the day so far. Metal stocks have taken a knockdown as well at the open. So we have Tata Steel, which is about 1% lower. And at the same time, a large part of the weakness in the capital marketplace could also be on account of the update that has come in for the month of June from Angel One, where the gross client acquisition is actually down 41%. The number of orders themselves have declined by about 32%. So, yes, there is that cloud of the Jane Street thing, but at the same time, fundamentally as well, their update for the month of June hasn't been very good. Speaking about weak updates, definitely has to be Trent. The stock had seen a rally all the way up from 4,500 to close to 6,000 on hopes that, growth will return at some point and valuations are getting comfortable, but growth hasn't returned. And in light of that, valuations also seemed a lot higher. I'd like to see what Avenue Supermarts does, because if the company or the quality of Trent is growing just at 20%, yesterday Avenue Supermarts was down 4% on account of a 16% growth. So will Street give a longer rope to Avenue Supermarts right now or not? Is something that I'll be watching out for through the course of the day. Marico, 4% higher on the back of 20% growth. That definitely is your stock of the day on the way up. We're also seeing some traction on, a couple of these jewelry companies. So they are doing well. We are awaiting, updates coming in from both Kalyan as well as Titan. And I also watch out for Dabur as well. If Marico is growing well, will Dabur continue to underperform the industry as it has? Or will that also get its act together? The street is betting on perhaps it may see some improvement.
Marico has finally put it out there. They're saying that, yes, we're on track to perhaps finally getting back to double-digit growth for the year as a whole, right?
For Marico, they've been saying that all of last year as well and this year. And Marico has gone ahead and, delivered that too.
Yeah.
So from a stock standpoint, Marico's seen a lot more in terms of re-rating. And it's done well because their volumes have outpaced the industry for the last 3 or 4 quarters. The only problem was the margins, largely because of higher input prices. But here as well, the commentary is positive. They're saying that things will improve in the second half of this year.
Well, I mean, it's really interesting. You put 2 stocks today, Marico on one side and Trent on the other side, both from the consumer space, but very different dynamics, different market positioning, leading to the...
Both from the consumer space and both growing at 20%, mind you. So it's just a valuation. Marico's 20%, Street likes 4% higher. Trent's 20%, Street does not like the stock down 8%.
It's positioning, it's expectations, it's valuations, all of that.
But as someone was pointing out, it's also Trent's growth rates have been decelerating, right? I'm just going back over the last 4 quarters, 29% in the prior quarter, 37% before that, 40% before that, and 57%.
Yeah, so which is why we saw the derating as well.
You've seen that
From 8,000
derating.
mark, the stock went down to 4,500. From there, it saw an improvement because the Street believed that there could be some improvement. And the company themselves said that it can grow at 25%. So the Street was adjusting itself to the new normal of 25%.
25%, now it's 20%.
But it's 1 quarter, you don't know. And they say one swallow doesn't make a summer. So let's see.